Hello viewers, Fly Flapper here and welcome to more Project Cast 2 in the form of the Neo-Racing Group, and this is round 8 of the Long Beach Street Circuit with the Lamborghini GT3 cars, where we're doing 15 laps with 2 sprint races. This is the first sprint race though. So with that said, let's have a look at the qualifying results. So on pole is Neo Stig with his 4th pole position out of 4 races since joining the championship. In P2 is Bidster, P3 is TY, P4 is Flying Flapper. Gotta say, very pleased with qualifying in this race. P5 is Stevie Q, another great performance there from Stevie. P6 is Neil Farmack, not used to seeing him so low down in qualifying, perhaps not his track of choice. P7 is Callum Paul Banks, good performance from him. P8 is Razor Blade, P9 is Jay Hewson, P10 is Blakeney, P11 is Jamo, P12 is Lil Yam, P13 is Sequan, and at the bottom of the list is Danny Quaver in P14. So with that being said, let's get straight into the race. Hello guys, and welcome to round 8 of the Long Beach Street Circuit using the Lamborghini GT3 cars. It is 15 laps around here at this sunny location based near California. So as we await for the lights to go out, and the lights are out and away we go, and everyone gets away pretty cleanly as we've got Neo Stig, Big Star, Flying Flapper, TY, Neil in the top 5 as we approach turn 1 at the Toyota Bend. So as we go through, looks like Stevie Q gets knocked into the wall, and as we go into the fountain complex, and there's contact between Jay Hewson and I think that's Sequan as well. So let's look on the replay on board with Stevie Q. We've got a few things to clear up right now. So Stevie Q in P6 with Neil Farmack just going around the outside of him, Razor Blade going around the outside of him as well. As we go into turn 1, Blakeney gets on the inside of him and pushes him into the tyre barrier, although I have to say wasn't that much contact to be honest, and perhaps that is just dodgy Project Cars 2 physics, I don't know, but it seemed like it was just a little tap as we ride on board with Blakeney to see from his angle as we go into turn 1, a little tap into Razor Blade, hits Stevie Q, but again I didn't feel like that warranted enough of a shunt to push Stevie Q right into the tyre wall, but that is for you guys to decide. As we ride on board with Jay Hewson, let's see on his angle what exactly happened in the fountain complex. So you see Stevie Q go wide, Sequan is on his left hand side, and it looks like he cuts in front of Sequan and pushes him into the wall, which then inadvertently spins out Jay Hewson as well, as we see a lot of carnage, not just from that incident, but from cars trying to pass him as well. So let's have a look on board with Sequan and see from his angle exactly what happened. But as you can see, just behind Jay Hewson, just on his inside, and as we turn into the Toyota Bend, see that Sequan has got kind of in front of Jay Hewson, but Jay Hewson clearly doesn't see him, pushes him into the wall, and they both spin out. So let's have a look on board with Jamo. Jamo was the guy that was just behind them. So again, as we go down the straight, approaching turn 1, the Toyota Bend, Stevie Q on the side there, and Jamo just behind, and yeah, Jay Hewson does cut in front of him, it seems, and got to say it's his fault. You know, probably didn't mean to do it, but still. So we ride aboard with Jay Hewson on this slow motion replay, and as you can see, yeah, Jay Hewson on the right, Sequan on the left, but then Jay Hewson doesn't give him any space whatsoever as he cuts right in front of him, and contact was inevitable as all the cars try to pass him. Jay Hewson knocks into, I think that's Lil Yam, and then Lil Yam says, take that, you can go into the wall. So we ride back on board with the leaders. We've got Neo Stig out in front with Bidster just behind, Flying Flapper just behind, Bidster and TY just behind Flying Flapper with his teammate Neil Farmack in close quarters as well. So as we go into, I believe that is turn 7, the Takati turn, and it's very close at the front right now. Bidster trying to apply the pressure to Neo Stig. As we go down the Seaside Way, and we approach the Firestone turn at turn 9, and Fly Flapper trying to stay on the back of Bidster, which is no easy thing to do. And as we go through the hairpin at turn 11, they all get through very, very cleanly as we ride on board with Neil Farmer. He's just slightly further back from TY. Razor Blade in 6th place, just behind, as we ride back on board with Bidster. As we approach turn 1 of the Toyota Bend on lap 2. And we get through that very nicely. So going through the fountain complex, and all is well through there. As we go through turn 5 and turn 6, and no dramas out of there so far. So you can see how congested it is at the top as we ride aboard with Jake Hewson as he goes through turn 6 with a train of cars behind him. So it is the fight for 9th position. As we ride aboard with Jamo just behind. As we go through the Takati turn 7 and turn 8, leading onto Seaside Way. So we're riding aboard the Lil Yam just behind Jamo, with Stevie Q just behind Lil Yam. As we approach the Firestone turn at turn 9, you see that Stevie Q is side by side with Lil Yam. Who's going to come out on top? Well, Stevie Q is just behind at the moment. Stevie Q goes up the inside of Lil Yam. What is going to happen at the hairpin? And it looks like Stevie's just squeezed through as Lil Yam had to apply the brakes and let him through. So good driving there from both of them as we ride aboard with Blakeney on lap 3. With Callum in close quarters of him as we go into turn 1. And there's contact between Callum and Blakeney, and then we see more contact between Callum and Jay Hewson in the fountain chicane, fountain complex. So let's have a look at the replay and see exactly what happened here. But it looks like Jay Hewson has not learnt his lesson from the first lap. As we go into the turn, he looks to get up the inside of it, hits the wall, and then goes straight into Callum, and both of them go spinning round, and Stevie Q goes straight into Jay Hewson as well, as he had nowhere to go, and all a little bit of a mess right there. So let's ride on board with Callum on the replay, just behind Blakeney, as I tangled my words up earlier. And as we go into turn 1, Blakeney goes a bit slow and Callum has nowhere to go as he shunts him from behind. But then Jake Hewson comes out of nowhere and T-bones Callum. And yeah, Callum needs to try and turn around as he smashes into other cars as well, trying to pass him. And then smashed by, I think that's Seek 1, as he was going down the wrong side of the circuit. Well, you know, I have to say that was pretty careless of Callum, if I do say so myself. But let's have a look at the slow motion of Jay Hewson. So he gets a good run on Callum, but then hits the wall and then goes straight into Callum. And like I say, I mean, I don't think he really should be trying to make an overtaking move in such a very tight area. But Jay Hewson's done it twice, and he's crashed both times because of it. So we ride back on board with the leaders. We're on board with Fly Flapper, myself, who's just, you know, pulled a little bit of a gap on Fly Flapper as TY starts to apply the pressure on Fly Flapper. As we go down Seaside Way, approaching turn 9, you can see that Neo Stig has pulled a little bit of a gap over Bidster, but he has got breathing space over Fly Flapper, with TY hot on his heels as we come out of the hairpin to finish lap 3 and on to lap 4. So we can see TY's teammate Neil Farmack as well in the distance. But TY really showing his pedigree and looking to close that gap. Maybe frustrated that he finds himself in 4th position right now as we go into turn 1. And he really does close that gap. Flapper knows that, you know, it's very difficult for anyone to pass on it. So just keep your cool and hopefully things will go well. As we ride on board with Stevie Q on lap 4. Just behind Danny Quaver as we go into turn 1. And Danny Quaver gets too late in the brace, goes into the tyre wall. That catapults Stevie Q up into 10th position with Jay Hewson in 11th position as well, just behind him. And oh God, nearly contact there between those two on turn 5. And as we go into turn 6, Stevie Q gets a better exit than Jay Hewson. But Jay Hewson is there and very close, and Stevie Q can't afford a mistake right now. So as we go through turn 7 at the Takati turn and through to turn 8 for Seaside Way, we ride back on board with Flying Flapper to end lap 4 and onto lap 5, and you can see how close TY is on the back of Flying Flapper right now. And I don't think TY is going to be able to make a move on Flying Flapper as we go into turn 1, but he is getting ever so close to the back of my car. So we go into the Toyota Bend for turn 1 through the Fountain Complex. Flapper rides a little bit of the curb there, and lucky not to get a cut track penalty for that. As we go into turn 6, and Flying Flapper loses the rear and into the wall, and TY nips past him with Neil Farmack shooting past as well, with Flying Flapper going down to 5th position. Absolute disaster there from Flying Flapper as we ride on board with him on the replay in the cockpit view to see exactly what happened there. But we go through turn 5, no dramas there. We go through turn 6, rides the curb, gets on the power a little bit too early, and that's what spins the car around and puts him into the wall. So unlucky there from Flying Flapper, but he's going to have to dust himself off and get back into the race. Not the end of the world being in P5 though, of course. So as we ride on board with Sequan in 13th position, just behind Danny Quaver, going through the Fountain Complex and going through turn 5, no dramas there. Through turn 6, Danny Quaver goes a bit wide there. Sequan should be able to close the gap a little bit on Danny Quaver as we go into the Takati turn, and Danny Quaver goes very late on the brace and down the escape road, and Sequan gets an easy pass as we ride back on board with Danny Quaver trying to rejoin the track now, and there's contact between him and Callum, and that puts him into the wall and probably spins out Callum as well. Absolute disaster there from Danny as he retires from the race from that incident. So we look on board with Callum Paul Banks in the slow motion replay, and you can see that Callum probably did not expect Danny Quaver to be there or even try to accelerate off. Completely Danny Quaver's fault, unfortunately, on the racing line, going very, very slow. There was only going to be one outcome. So, running on board with Stevie Q in 10th position, just behind Lil Yam, going through the Fountain Complex with Jay Houston just behind him as well. So this is very, very tight for the fight for P9. And as we go through turn 6, Stevie Q right at the back of him as he pulls to the side of him, looking to overtake him, decides not to do it, maybe go up the inside, pulls out again, and wisely kind of stays behind Lil Yam, although he briefly was side by side with him as we go into turn 8. Stevie Q will fold back behind him, but of course Jay Houston just behind Stevie Q as well. So this is a big dogfight between the three of them as we go into the Firestone turn at turn 9, and Lil Young goes wide, and then Blaney comes across and there's contact between him and Jay Houston. So let's have a look at the replay, see exactly what happened here as we ride on board with Jay Houston in 11th position. So we see him just behind Stevie Q. As you see Stevie Q side by side with Lil Yam entering turn 9 the Firestone turn. Liam goes wide, Stevie Q joins it with him, and then Blatney comes right across, and nothing Jay Hewson could do there, and smashes right into the side of him. So let's have a look on board with Blatney. This was obviously just before, so going into turn 9, and yeah, he spins the car out there. So he tries to turn the car around, and then he spins it out again, and that's where the contact happens. And I mean, you have to blame Blatney for it, but I'm sure again he didn't mean to do that. But as we see Seek1 try and go around the outside, yes, Blatney does let him through this time. So as we go around the hairpin, Blatney down to 12th position, which is a disaster for him. But he's not done here, as he tries to use the slipstream of Seek1 in front as we go down the pit lane straight, or kind of a straight anyway, as we approach turn 1. And Blatney gets really late in the brakes, and massive contact with him and Seek1 as Seek1 flies into the tyre wall. So let's have a look on board with Seek1. And I've got to say, Blatney, I mean, again, probably made a mistake there, but that was a brutal error from him. As we look to see with Seek1 going into turn 1, out of nowhere, Blatney comes into the side of him, and nothing Seek1 could do there, nothing that Blatney could do there, although obviously it was his mistake. So I'm sure he'll be saying a few apologies to Seek1 after the race. So we ride on board with Jay Hewson in P10, just behind Liam in 9th. Just come out of turn 7, going into turn 8. And yeah, Jay Hewson gets a good line out of there and looks to draw alongside Liam as we go into turn 9 at the Firestone turn. Surely Jay Hewson is going to take this position. Well, Liam is still going to stick with him on the inside. This contact, but not enough contact to spin him out. And Jay Hewson does take 9th position. And Liam has to concede and go down into 10th. So we ride on board with Razorblade on lap 8 in P6. And Razorblade loses the rear of the car as he caught the curb. And Jamo surely will surpass him. Well, Razorblade does stay in front of him as we go into turn 7. And Razorblade goes wide, and Jamo does take that position eventually and up into P6. And 2 mistakes from Razorblade in 2 corners has cost him very dearly there. So we ride aboard with Neo Stig, who is still the leader on lap 9 now. Bidstar is a further 3 seconds behind, so Neo Stig has pulled a bit of a gap on him now, with TY a further 3 seconds behind Bidstar, and Neil Farmack about 5 seconds behind TY, and Flying Flapper a further 6 seconds behind Neil Farmack. So it is starting to spread out a little bit, or definitely at the top. However, there is still a battle going on for 6th position between Jamo, Razorblade and Stevie Q. So we run on board with Jamo. And yeah, we look on board with Stevie Q just behind Razorblade. And yeah, about a few seconds covering both of them. Sorry, all 3 of them. As we go through turn 1 into the Fountain Complex. Stevie Q loses the rear of the car slightly, but regathers it again as he goes into turn 5. And into turn 6, Razorblade takes a scenic route, completely cuts that corner, which gains him some valuable time there as Stevie Q looks to try and close in on him. And I think Stevie Q has lost it on turn 7, because you can't see him now. And indeed he has, as Jay Hewson looks to go around the outside of him to take 8th position away from Stevie Q. And indeed he does. So big error there from Stevie, and he's going to have to regather his thoughts and try and catch Jay Hewson again, and maybe even Razorblade further down the line. So as we go into turn 9 at the Firestone turn, we ride now on board with Callum Paul Banks just behind Seek1 as we enter lap 10. Now, I can't see Callum making a move here, but he is pretty close to the back of Sequan as we go into turn 1. Was there contact? I'm not sure. We go into the Fountain Complex, and Sequan takes a very defensive line. I've not seen that before, I have to say. But as we go through turn 5, Sequan clips the ball. On turn 6, he's okay, but obviously Callum has closed that gap slightly as we approach turn 7 at the Takati turn. And Sequan loses it, and Callum has nowhere to go and shunts him right in the back, and Callum will take that 11th position, and really unlucky there from Sequan as we ride aboard with Neo-Stig as he is catching the back markers in Callum. Callum does give way to him though, thankfully. Hopefully this is not going to affect Bidster as he looks to do the same. And he's got to beat Sequan first before he gets to Callum though. But Sequan does move out of the way, so fair play to Sequan. So Bidster not losing any time whatsoever there as we go up to the final hairpin to end lap 11. And he's just got to catch Callum now. So we ride aboard the TY in 3rd position. He has closed that gap slightly on Bidster and definitely pulled the gap on his teammate Neil Farmack in 4th. So yeah, we ride back on board the Bidster, and yeah, not too bad through there. Going through turn 5. And Callum goes a little bit wide again, but he must be getting the blue flags now as Bidster looks to beat him on the inside. I think he does. So we ride aboard with Neil Farmack in P4. Just gone round turn 6 with Flying Flapper approaching turn 6 now. So quite a fair gap between Neil Farmack and Flying Flapper in 4th and 5th respectively. As we ride aboard with Stevie Q now in P9. Pretty much all over the back of Jay Hewson in 8th. Stevie Q looking to make amends and try and get further up the field, although hitting that wall is not going to help him as we go through turn 6. But it does look like Stevie Q is closing that gap all the time as we go through turn 7 at the Takate turn. This time he doesn't spin out, so he'll be looking to use as much of that draft from Jay Hewson's car. Although he has scraped the wall yet again, which is going to lose him time as we go down the Seaside Way and towards turn 9 at the Firestone turn. And to be honest, not too bad from either of them. You can see Stevie Q's bumper shaking all over the place. But there's big contact there between Stevie Q and Jay Hewson as Stevie Q spins out. Jay Hewson, luckily he is able to point the car the right way though and get on with it, but more contact in this race as we ride on board with TY, and he has really closed that gap on Bidster. We have rolled on a couple of laps now. We are just about to enter the final lap of the race, and yeah, that gap is down to about 6 or 7 tenths now, so Bidster's got to be very wary of him. TY again, he's not a quitter, he's a fighter. And as we go into turn 1, we both take it nice and cleanly. Bidster goes a little bit wide, that's going to compromise his exit there, so TY will close that gap even further as we approach turn 6. But yeah, TY definitely on it right now as he you know, sees an opportunity really, but with laps running out, this being the final lap, you know, if he's going to make a pass, he's got to do it pretty quickly. As we go through turn 8, Bidster takes that nice and cleanly, and whilst Bidster takes corners cleanly, there's not really much TY can do about it. So we're on board with the leader in Neo-Stig. He has led the race the whole time, and you have to say this is a most welcome win from Neo-Stig as he flashes his lights and wins round 8 of the Long Beach Street Circuit Sprint 1 as Bidster comes across the line in second with TY just behind and not managing to pass Bidster. As we see Neil Farmack go across the line to take 4th position, so good for Team Blue. And Flying Flapper as well, about to come across the line to take 5th position, which a little bit disappointing considering we had a good qualifying and got into 3rd position as well. But still good points as Jamo comes onto the back straight to claim 6th position. So good performance from Jamo, and Razorblade takes 7th position with Jay Houston just behind in 8th, and then Stevie Q in the background as well, who's going to take 9th position. So let's have a look at the classified race results. So the classified race results of round 8 of the Long Beach Street Circuit in the Lamborghini GT3 cars are as follows. So winning the race was Neo Stig with his 4th win out of 4 races since joining the championship, also getting the best lap as well, so maximum points for him. P2 is Bidster, and you've got to say it's good to see him back near the top again. P3 is TY, good points for him. P4 is Neil Farmack, pretty good for him considering it's not really his circuit, I believe. P5 is Flying Flapper, a little bit disappointed with that as I said earlier. P6 is Jamo, have to say that's good points earned from him after really poor qualifying from him. P7 was Razorblade, P8 was Jay Houston, P9 was Stevie Q, P10 was Lil Yam, P11 was Sequan, Lil Yam's teammate, P12 was Blakeney, P13 was Callum Paul Banks, and P14 was Danny Quaver as he retired from the race on lap 4. So guys, that will end the video here, but look out for race 2 which will be coming up shortly. But guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, please do smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more racing content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. So it's bye bye for now.